Hey, I'm Chris Jube, the Glamping guy, here in beautiful Monument, Colorado. It's a beautiful day, by the way. And I am here to help other glamping owners develop safe, legal, and profitable glamping operations on their private property. If that's you, click like and subscribe. I'd love to keep in touch with you. Today I want to talk about parties because glamping and parties tend to go hand in hand. And I want to encourage people to actually have a good time on our property, but I don't want to have parties. This is a huge problem with Airbnb. They have algorithms that keep people from taking one-night stays and making them into a little party with a whole bunch of friends. There is an in-baked prohibitor called proximity on my property because we're actually right up the hill. I'm standing in front of one of my tents down by the creek. Someone who comes in with a lot of cars and a lot of people would definitely be seen by me, and I would be able to put the kibosh on it right away. But there's some preempting too that I have in my messaging, in my email messaging, and in my welcome book that make it clear that we are not a place to host a party. For that matter, we have not had many people try to start parties. We've had a couple that, invite a couple guests over, but that's nothing crazy like in the books, like how, hundreds of people crash in the place. So I'm going to go through and explain to you the bullet points that I have in my welcome book that dissuades people from having a party. First of all, the heading is called No Parties. Okay, and I say, we are strict about parties, alcohol, and drug use, and loud music. Please remember, then I have bullet points underneath that. That's right in our rules section in our book, and they see, if they were planning on having a party, well, they just have the no parties header staring right at them. The first bullet says moderate drinking is allowed, but obnoxious partying is not. You see how I'm contrasting that? Go ahead and have a beer. Go ahead and have a glass of wine. But obnoxious partying it will be dissuaded. Secondly, is tobacco smoking is allowed, but keep outside at all times. You notice how I didn't say marijuana is not allowed? I single out tobacco and say tobacco smoking is allowed, but do so outside of the tent or the container. No smoking inside the venues. But you know what? I do, since we're in Colorado, I do call out marijuana. Now, I word it very carefully because if someone chews a gummy in their tent, I'm not going to make a big deal out of that. But I don't want to become a 420 friendly place. That would attract people that I really don't want here on the glamping site. Glamping is all about having a semi or outdoor experience. I don't want it to be a pot fest. So this is what I say in my welcome book. We are not a 420 friendly environment. What I mean by a 420 friendly environment is that people come here to smoke pot. And that's not what I want it to be. I want it to be a outdoor experience. I want to be camping outdoors on my property, on my private property. The next bullet says no extra guests without explicit written permission ahead of arrival. That is something I have to do. My 8 units on this property, I can have only 8 extra cars. Any more than that, and I could get in trouble. But that is a natural dissuader against parties because people show up in a lot of cars. The 5th bullet in my book says bring your own music device, but if neighboring glampers can hear it, it is too loud. That's sort of my gauge. If they can bring a radio, they can bring a boombox. Our glamping sites are a good 100 feet, 200 feet apart from each other. If it's too loud for them to hear, then you have it too loud. And also, the next bullet kind of relates to that is quiet hours are from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Shut it all off at 10 p.m. And I promise I won't mow the lawn before 8 a.m. Or don't make big noises before 8 a.m. too. And then I have this final bullet that kind of lays it on the line. I say violators may be asked to leave and they will be reported to their short-term rental service, and they're harder on partiers than us. I like that line. I think it's kind of poetic because it sort of says, hey, look, we want you to have a good time, but we don't want you to be out of control. So in a way, I'm hesitant to put rules in front of people just because I'm more of a freedom guy. But at the same time, those rules are really a safeguard for other glampers who really want to spend a lovely time in beautiful Monument, Colorado at Monument Glamping here on my property. If you have some other ideas, I would love to hear from you. Go ahead and post them below. And of course, like and subscribe, and we'll see you for some more glamping videos on how to build safe, legal, and profitable glamping operations on your private property.